How important it is, would you say, to get clear on what their skills are and the value that they could bring to that business before they go on that search? Um, because you don't want to go through that process and then go, oh, actually, I can't make this better, or I can't sustain this business as it was before. Because yeah, you clearly knew what you were looking for and what your value is, but yeah, how important would that be? I think to do some self evaluation.
It's so important. And I think not just self-evaluation, but speak to people that you trust. Or I spoke to a couple of clients that I'd worked with very closely, or colleagues, and said, when I worked with you, what would you say my superpower was? Or what did you enjoy working about me? Where did you think that I added the most value? And some of that I knew, and some of it you got reflected back at you, and also bits that you thought you were maybe strong at, actually, that you weren't maybe as strong as you perceived you were. So that was really important for me because, for example, I knew that um, I want any business that I acquired, I was okay with it being not necessarily operationally excellent. But I knew I could bring that. I knew I could bring rigor and process and a level of standards that I just was drilled into me as a management consultant for a long period of time. If it had been a very operationally strong business, but let's say, marketing is not a particularly strong suit of mine. I've not got a huge amount of exposure into it. If the biggest problem had been marketing, but it operationally ran, I would have been able to add less value, and probably similar on the sales side of things. So I've got a very strong network in the work that we do. So it's been very easy for me to pick up the phone to people who are ex-clients or ex-colleagues and say, this is what I'm doing now. Would you be interested in the conversation? Because that trust-based sell is so important. I just believe it so strongly, particularly for consulting businesses. If you can't kind of back up what you've sold, it unravels very quickly. And I didn't